With the broader CSGO market finally starting to show signs of life with operation skins, cases, and as we'll focus on in this video, knives increasing in price, today let's look at the best knives to invest in going into the new year. Thankfully, knife investing is pretty straightforward, and who doesn't like owning a knife, so it's a win-win. So as always, if you guys do enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course, check out my sponsor, Skin Club. Skin Club is a CSGO case opening site with over 100 unique cases, a battle game mode, an upgrade system, and more. Today, let's focus on the battle system. The battle system is a lot more risky than the other two. It works by rolling 4 of the same cases for 4 players, and whoever ends up with the best combined price of all the items they got gets to keep all of it. And since I'm obviously a high roller, this case costs a total of $1.40 to buy into, but unfortunately, I did not run too good today and lost to somebody named Barack Obama. So as they say, all good. But after this, I actually decided to open one $31 exclusive case and got really lucky with the StatTrak M4A1S Golden Coil, and thankfully made my $1.40 back with a bit more profit. So if you want to test out your luck, be sure to sign up to Skin Club today with that link at the top of the description and get a 7% bonus on your first deposit. But for now, let's get right into the video. So first of all, I want to cover all of the knives from the Chroma cases, as every one of them follows an incredibly similar trend, but some are slightly better than others. Let's first start by looking at the trend of the bayonet rust coat. Obviously, a rust coat skin isn't something top tier or something you'd think is going to be desired by a ton of people, but at the same time, it's a bayonet, so it's not awful, it's somewhere in the middle. It's followed a pretty consistent upward trend for the past years until this year, where it reached a bit above the $200 range, peaking in that May/June month time where, as I've covered in a ton of videos in the past, the entire market was just booming at that point and has since died down a bit, which is why we've seen it drop off that point and flatten out until now to where we're starting to see it pick up again as the broader market is starting to pick up again. But let's take a look at another knife from the Chroma collection, the M9 Bayonet Doppler, and it's had pretty much the same exact trend as the Bayonet Rust Coat, along with everything else in the Chroma knife collection. The reason why I covered this knife as well is because it just shows no matter how bad or good a knife looks, if it's from one of these older cases that isn't really in the spotlight anymore with all the new stuff we've got going on, knives are not only an investment, but an item that players definitely tend to hold onto for longer than regular skins. And because of this, when we're in a market where we have a lot of new players looking for new play skins, the supply of these is going to be lower than normal with so many people holding onto them, and price is going to get driven up. You'll notice on the chart that these things really started climbing through February to June of this year, and it's no surprise that CSGO was at crazy numbers throughout this time player count wise. And then as things started to die down, so did prices. I mean, if we've got hundreds of thousands of less people playing a month, there's going to be less people buying knives. But with player counts slowly climbing back up to levels we saw before, the market looks to be in a really good spot going into the next year, especially when the operation ends and we'll have a period where players can focus on these older knives and older investments in general, including operation skins and stuff. I've said this in like my past 5 videos now, so just want to relay that information and keep you aware that that is still a thing going on, especially with new players coming to the game and just more players coming back to the game. Next up, I want to talk about butterfly knives. I've always been a big fan of butterfly knives as an investor. The community loves them, and specifically for the breakout case butterfly knives, they're really limited and people have proven they will pay absurdly high prices for them consistently. Just like the other knives we looked at, they've just had this slow climb up and up across the years besides the spike we saw in May/June of this year, and just show no signs of stopping. With the recent dip they've had because of the release of Operation Riptide, and now they're starting to slowly recover, I don't think now is a bad time to get in on these or any knife investments at all really. I honestly think we could see another big spike early next year like we saw this time if the player count continues its trek upwards, because we've got all the right ingredients for something big to happen like this. With the recent 20% plus explosion that we saw in a lot of skins prices in just the past few days, it definitely seems like something is brewing. But you do got to be a bit careful with these, because if you're just looking at all of the butterfly knives in general, or just any knives or gloves in a case that just got released, they will not be good investments, as we're going to see a lot more of them unboxed as time goes on. But that's only for much newer cases. But especially when we do eventually get a new case released with the rare special items as Riptide cases, whether that's in the Dreams and Nightmares cases or the one after that, definitely be sure to stay away from brand new stuff and cases that are still in the drop pool. But besides that, once again, it's just pretty straightforward. The reason you don't want to buy into new stuff is because there's just so many more of them coming into supply than there is with old cases. Like, if you just look at the cases unboxed per month, number one, look at the Broken Fang case, which still has almost a million unboxed, if not over a million. I'll show it on screen, I don't remember numbers in my head, but look at the Riptide case as well. It's in the multi-millions unboxed a month. There's obviously going to be a ton upon a ton of knives being unboxed, so there's no reason to buy into them if a ton more of them are coming into existence right now. But with that being said, the final knives that I want to focus on are some knives from the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 cases. Now, the reason I say some here is because the only knives that people seem to actually flock towards in these cases are the Gamma Dopplers and the Lore knives. Autotronics, Freehands, and Bright Waters not so much, but Gamma Dopplers and Lures are definitely two sought after knives, especially on Karambits, M9 bayonets, and bayonets. They've shown the best results. I would definitely look to snag one up if you could find these at a good price and if we see another spike like this year. But if you end up paying like $50 over like probably the low range of price, you could struggle a bit with these, but if you do find a good price, I would definitely buy in. It'll probably get you a few $100s if you time it right, and if the market keeps climbing like we've seen it in the past year and just recently with these big spikes that we're seeing. But another reason why I like the Gamma cases and these two knives is because both of these cases have not been a drop in game for actual ages. Once again, I like focusing on older cases, older items, so supply isn't really an issue at all, and it's mostly just about demand with these knives unless we see an abnormal spike. And I think the Lures and Gamma Dopplers are two good knife skins that have really good demand, honestly. So overall, just taking a look at the older knives that don't have loads of supply coming in now is always a good idea. I can't mention everything that I want in this video because I don't want it to be over 20 minutes long, but Chroma knives, butterfly knives, and gamma knives are definitely at the top of my list going into the next year. I actually picked up an M9 Doppler myself not too long ago and will definitely be selling if we see a huge spike like last time early in next year. But if not, I'm going to keep holding on to it probably for a pretty long time, probably 6 months plus, hoping to sell it for a pretty decent profit if we see the market for older skins start to pick up. But besides that, I think that does wrap it up for this video. So as always, if you guys did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. But for now, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.